be seated. Mr. Lehwabe, you're under your previous oath. Counsel, you may proceed, please.
Thank you, Justice. Mr. Lehwabe, I'd just like to clarify something that arose before we took the tea adjournment. And in that regard, I'd like you to turn to page 3822 of file 11, which is in front of you.
This one.
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry, it's not in front of you, but it's about to be.
It's a file.
File 11, page 3822.
Yeah, I got it, Counsel.
Mr. Lehwabe, that's a letter which is signed by, among others, Daphne and Lovu and Matilda Malaza, confirming that Motofela was admitted to Cullinan on the 23rd of June, 2016.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is that the date of admission that you're aware of?
Yeah, this Councillor, with your due respect and Chief Justice, is the date that I made a sit-in to make sure that they are writing this letter to me after Motofela passed away on the 15th.
And that's a confirmation that he was admitted on the 23rd of June?
Yeah.
And the date that you visited him that you were talking about before the tea adjournment?
The date that I talked about, they never give me any indication when he was there because...
When did you visit him, Mr. Lehwabe?
Yeah, I visited him, I think, around about the 9th or the 10th of July when I was with my wife.
Was that the first visit to
No.
Cullinan?
Yeah, I think that was the first visit when I started visiting him to check because, you see, Councillor, from the 6th of March up until we found Motofela, we didn't know where the whereabouts of Motofela. We were looking everywhere to check where was Motofela at that time.
And you said before the break that was when you looked at Vescopies and at Takalani.
Yeah, my wife has got a friend in Vescopies. We went there in Vescopies. He took us into the wards and checked, but they confirmed that no patient of life Esidimeni was admitted from their department.
And it, you said before the break that it was when you went to Cullinan to visit Motofela that they asked you to identify him.
Yeah, on the 23rd, yeah.
Of June, okay. Mr. Lehwabe, when...
Well, I don't understand still what happened on the 16th of August.
The 16th, through you, Counsel, can I answer the Chief
Please answer the
Justice?
Justice.
Right. On the 16th of August, Chief Justice, with your due respect, is the day that I requested after the death of Motofela, because Motofela passed away on the 15th at Mamelodi Day Hospital.
Yes.
And what were you demanding on the 16th?
No, I was demanding to have the records of Motofela, because if I can take you through, Councillor, is that when we visited Motofela at the day hospital before the 2 weeks, they told us Motofela was playing a soccer, and I asked the doctor, how can a person with epilepsy play a soccer? Then they said to us that, I was with my wife at that time, my late wife. They said that they don't know, they've been informed by the institution that Motofela broke his ankle when he was playing soccer.
So, can you just clarify for us, where did you see Motofela when he broke his ankle?
I saw it when he was admitted at Mamelodi Day Hospital.
And where was he when he broke his ankle?
He was still at CCRC.
And they said that was because he was playing soccer?
Yeah, he was playing soccer.
Okay. Do you remember when this was?
No, they informed us after Motofela was admitted. They say, please take note. They phoned my wife because they were interacting with my wife, because they were saying to me, when they start to talk to me, I become aggressive because I need them lots of things. Then they were talking to my wife, because my wife was a soft-spoken somebody.
Okay.
They could play around with her.
So you went to visit Motofela at Mamelodi Day Hospital, and he had a broken ankle.
Yeah.
Did he have any other injuries?
Yeah, at the back there was injuries.
At the back of
Of
where?
his head, at the back of his head. There
And
was
did you ask the doctor about those injuries?
Yeah, I asked the doctor about the injuries. He says to me, he doesn't have any medical record. Motofela has been admitted to come, he has been assigned to deal with the ankle and the injuries at the back of the head. That was confirmed because he was brought by an ambulance.
So did the doctor tell you anything about Motofela's general health condition?
No, he says that he's only been assigned to do that and then nothing else. And then if I want to know, it's better for me to get all his medical file so that he can start to investigate what are the causes. Then that day we tried to go to...
Well, before we go all over, how many days was it before the 15th of August, 2016, i.e. the date of his death, that you were told about the ankle injury and injuries on the back of his head?
He was admitted 2 weeks before he died, yeah.
And so it would have been around the beginning of August.
Yeah, the beginning of August.
And that's
yeah.
when you were told that, yeah, he had these injuries,
Yeah.
and they will be looked after.
Yeah.
You went to visit.
Yeah, we went to visit him at Mamelodi Day Hospital.
And how did he look?
He was pale at the time. He was losing weight.
And did you talk to him?
I tried to talk to him. In fact, he was puzzled to see us here because he wants to walk up and go with us, you see.
And what did he say about the soccer?
No, the sister who was there, he told us that they bring him here because he was playing soccer.
No, what did Motofela say about the soccer?
No, he couldn't speak. Couldn't speak. Motofela couldn't speak.
Okay. Counsel.
Thank you, Justice. Was he still admitted at Mamelodi Day Hospital when he passed away?
Yeah, he was still admitted.
And if you turn to page 3823, which I think is just the next page in that file.
Yes, Counsel, I got it.
What is that document?
It's a death certificate from Home Affairs.
And what is the cause of Motofela's death on that?
They say natural causes, yeah.
Did you ever find anything else out about why he died, what caused his death?
No, I didn't find anything because even now I'm still puzzled.
And it was the following day that you went to Cullinan and got the letter on page 3822?
Yeah, because I was amazed. And then I was angry when they say, no, this is natural causes. That's why then I say to myself, because my wife tried to stop me. I said, you better not do that.
And did you ask Mrs. Ndlovu and Mrs. Malaza about the circumstances of his death?
Yeah, I tried to ask them, and then, you see, I couldn't talk to them correctly because sometimes the security have to usher me out, then I resist. You see?
Okay.
And then also, in that CRC, for your info, there was also soldiers. I don't know what they were doing, the soldiers inside the CCRC.
I'd like to refer you, Mr. Lukwabe, to page 3828.
3828.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it, Council.
I'll just wait for the Justice to get the document. Can you tell us what... Thank you, Justice. Can you tell us what that document is?
This is a funeral service that the funeral parlor of Majokan, when he was taken from Mamelodi Day Hospital.
And so this is the list of funeral expenses.
Yeah, these are some of the list that we use in order to bury Motofela.
When did you bury Motofela?
Yeah, we bury him on the, if I may correct, I think that it was on Sunday, let me see, died on the 15th on Sunday, which was Tuesday. And then we bury him, I think, on the 20th, yeah, on the 20th.
Of which month?
Of August.
And who paid the funeral expenses?
It's me and my late wife.
You and your late wife?
Yeah.
In addition to these expenses listed at page 3828, can you tell us approximately how much you paid?
I can say that I pay almost like 40,000 rands.
40,000,
Yeah, 40,000 rand, because I have to buy a casket for.
Okay, and that includes the expenses listed on page 3828? Yeah. Okay. Mr. Lukwabe, did you hear from anyone in the government after Motofela passed away?
No, nothing at all. I'm still waiting for them.
And anything from Mrs. Ndlovu?
No, he came here and come and testify. I thought that he's going to tell us some of the patients that died at CCRC, how was the cause, but he didn't.
And
He didn't.
Anything from Mrs. Malaza?
No, nothing. Since I last met her, the day when I was meeting a sit-in in his office.
Okay, so there's still a lot of mysteries around.
Yeah, there's
the
still a lot of
circumstances.
mystery.
So how long did this sit-in last?
It lasted for almost 7 hours.
And where were these two ladies?
Sorry?
Where was Miss Malaza and Miss Ndlovu?
Now, you see what I did, Chief Justice, let me be honest. I took the keys of the office and put them inside my pocket in order to make sure that nobody leaves.
Did you lock them out? Or?
Yeah, no, we lock ourselves in so that they must write that letter for me. So
you
that
locked yourself in together with these two ladies?
Ladies, so that they must write it. The security, you see, it was a security door. The security was standing outside, and then even one security says that they will call soldiers. I say, you better bring the cane on. It's not for the first time when the soldiers arrested me. They arrested me in 1976. It won't be the first time.
So you locked yourself in there with the ladies, and where were the word processor, the computer and the papers? And
No, there were computers there.
Oh,
and
right
then,
there.
Yeah, and then Mrs. Malaza was shivering. I said, do you need water? I give him water to drink so that he can type for me that letter.
Yeah, I read the letter, it's well typed, it's no mistakes, anything.
Yeah, no, because I interpreted what should they write, because they didn't have any information of Motofel. But when I go out, I found that we have missed one critical point, which was Motofela just came in with an ID and nothing else.
The one on page 3827, where did that come from?
38?
3827, there's an ID there.
Yeah, this ID we got it on the 23rd.
Where, at Home Affairs?
No, they say somebody's going to bring it. Then I said to them, he must bring it with all the files.
Oh, I see.
Because they were telling me that you are not a medical doctor. Why do you need medical records of a patient? Because it's confidential. I said, this is my brother. It's no more confidential.
Yeah. So it does help sometimes to toy, right?
No, it
And to
helps me
sit
a
in,
lot,
eh?
yeah.
It helps a lot, you
No,
say?
it helps me in order to get this letter.
Okay. Then. Council, any more questions?
Thank you, Justice. Just to thank Mr. Lechwabe for coming and telling your story and contributing to this very important process.
Was-
There are no further questions.
Was your brother ever married?
No, he was not married.
Did he have any children of his
No,
own?
no any children at all.
Advocate Krause.
Thank you, Justice. We have no questions.
Council.
Thank you, Justice. So I only have two possible questions. The one is, when last do you know that your brother was at Life Esidimeni? When was he discharged at Life Esidimeni, according to you?
No, since from the 6th of March, we found that my brother was released from Life Esidimeni in Waverley.
March or May? I think he testified. that
May,
it was
May, sorry, May.
6th of May.
May, yeah.
Now, sir, there's a document, ELAH9. That's a report from CCRC
On which document?
on... We'll provide you the document just now. Yes, thank you. If you can just turn to page 21 of that document.
Page 21.
Page 21 of that document, yes. Is the first name there, is that your brother?
Yeah, that's my brother.
That's your brother. Now, sir, you see that there's two columns there. The first one is the date that he was discharged at Life Esidimeni. Well, that's the alleged date that he was discharged at Life Esidimeni. So according to individuals from CCRC, he was admitted on the 23rd of June 2016.
Yeah.
We now also know that from the document you received from CCRC, that they confirmed he was admitted on the 23rd of June. But you testified that he was actually discharged from Esidimeni on the 6th of May. So there's a period of more than a month, but we don't know exactly where your brother was.
No, we were looking at Takalani, wherever, what you call Vetporki, Selby. We travel a lot, Council.
But nobody has filled you in on that month,
No,
more than a
no,
month.
no. Because when we go back to Waverley, we still meet other patients that were traveling with an open baggie. They were being taken somewhere, we don't know where. And then when I asked to say where's Motofela, where he's been transferred. They couldn't tell me. They say, people come and choose. They are patients. I don't know who's those patients. Maybe those were the NGOs. I started to find out here in this arbitration that these were the NGOs, that they were choosing their own patients.
Thank you very much. That was all that I wanted to
But do you know, in the light of the questions asked by Advocate Groenewald, where was your brother between
6th of May.
6th of May and 23rd of June?
I don't know. I'm still worried. Where was he?
You see, because they say they got him only on the 23rd of June,
Yeah.
in the schedule and in the letter.
Yeah, it was according to the letter, because the letter was saying that he didn't have any medical record. Even now, I went there even to Waverley. It's a rehab.
What about Anchor Life and Sabadinga? Didn't they tell you anything about those two?
No, they never told me. They never told me where he was.
But when you went to see him at the hospital, where was he? I mean, at the rehabilitation center.
He was in CCRC.
But did you know about the division that part of CCRC was used?
No, I
As
didn't.
Sabadinga, another part used as Anchor Life.
You see, the people at CCRC, they were so confidential. I don't know. Maybe somebody told them to shut up and pay them lots of money. I don't know. They didn't give us any confirmation where are these patients coming from.
What do you think killed your brother?
I think it's because of he didn't have the right medicine. Because according to my understanding, is that people at the Life Esidimeni, they were treated well. They were treated well. That's why we could took our brother in every open day to go to my house with my wife, so that he must visit us. And then we were being directed that he must drink these pills, and then this time we must order him to go and sleep.
You see, the evidence before me up to now has been that the hunger, the poverty, and the poor conditions really obtained at Sabadinga and at Anchor Life. That's where people were not fed properly. Medical health care users were neglected in a variety of ways. And that, by and large, from the evidence, the weight of the evidence suggests that they died of dehydration, of malnourishment, and of course of absence of proper medication, besides other care, like bathing, like, etc. What do you say to that?
Yeah, it can be true, Justice, because if they were honest, they should have told me that when I moved from Waverley, they should have told me which NGO, because I remember on the, if I take you back, on the 8th of February, when I was with other families at Waverley, when the former MEC, Tetani Mahlangu, I don't know, that's why they call him Tetan, because he wants to get rid of us, I don't know. He came late at 2 o'clock, he was so arrogant, and at that time, there were already demands that we put to her. What should we?
She came where? To the family meeting,
Yeah, family meeting
which was held where?
at Waverley, Life
At
Esidimeni.
Waverley.
Yeah.
And how many family people were there?
I think we were plus 25, yeah, 25 or 50.
And did she come on time, or you had to wait for her?
No, she was late. She was late because he wants us, the students, to conduct the meeting, and then we refuse. And some of the people,
What students did she want to conduct the meeting?
no, there were other students at the Esidimeni.
Medical students.
Yeah, medical student. He wants the medical students to address us. And then we were so arrogant. We shout that we don't need any student to come and address us.
And then you waited for the MEC and she came, and what happened?
Yeah, and then she came. She was so arrogant. She told us that the department have made their minds. They want to save cost. And then therefore, this project should go on. Even though we give him list of the demands, he couldn't even read those demands.
Were the demands written?
Yeah, they were written to him to say that these are the demands in
To
order.
her, and given to her.
Yeah, given to her. But she was so arrogant. It's for the first time I see a woman so arrogant like him. I thought that is a soldier.
No. We shouldn't go there. There are many arrogant people, men or women. but what did she say? Why did you say she's arrogant?
No, she says to us, guys, he says to us, ladies and gentlemen, you know, the department is in financial constraint. And then therefore, we want to try and restructure this program because I've taken other people to make sure that this project goes well. And then therefore, we want to save cost. And then from Treasury, we don't have financial to maintain these people. And then on that day,
She said from the Treasury,
there's no money.
there's no money to maintain
the patients.
mental health care users.
Yeah. And then he says to us, for your info, when these people are going to be moved to other places, you'll be informed where they will be landing.
And your evidence is that you were never informed.
We were never being informed.
Did she tell you where she's going to take the mental health care users?
No, he never told us. He says everything is in a pipeline, that they are working on a project. So,
But you and the other families were quite clear that you did not want the patients to move.
no, we didn't want, because we were saying that maybe let's raise some donations. We can go to churches or wherever, or even to other ShopRites and wherever.
And you made it clear to her. Did you
Yeah,
tell
we
the
made it
MEC?
very clear to her. We say, you can't close this facility like this. Some of these patients is already their home, and they have been taken good care of them. So therefore, it's either we raise certain funds. Can you give us time to go and raise funds, and so that we can come back to you? You see, because I'm staying in Mamelodi, I was going to go to Mtsepe and asking for a donation.
Who is Mutsepe?
Patrice Mtsepe of Mamelodi Sundowns.
You are a Mamelodi Sundowns guy, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Very well. Council, any further questions? Advocate Groenewald, are you done? You are done.
Thank you very much, Justin.
Advocate Tutam. I'm sorry, Council Evidence Leader, are you?
Thank you, Justice. We have no questions.
You have no questions? Sorry.
Thank you, Justice. Mr. Lekwabe, we are really sorry about the passing of your brother, Mutofela. We just want to give you the assurance that the government is really taking steps in this process to ensure that the wrongs which occurred are corrected and history does not repeat itself. You are aware that there are family members or family committees which are working with the government departments. The National Department of Health, together as the Provincial Department of Health, they are committed in ensuring that what has been recommended by the Office of the Ombudsman relating to the tragedy that has occurred, those recommendations are implemented. And what we want to assure everyone, yourself, the family members, and all the family members who are affected by this tragedy, we want to assure you, as well as the nation, that the government is committed and no impression should be made to the public that there is resistance in the efforts that the government is taking in order to ensure that the truth is being told about the events that had actually occurred. We all know that this process that we are engaged in is in relation to the process is formed in the form of an arbitration, which requires legal representatives of the affected family members as well as those of the government. And these legal representatives work together in order to ensure that the process is led and everyone is being informed of the progress that is being made. And therefore, we say as government that the family members and affected people should know that every effort is being made to ensure that people with information will be called before these proceedings, and let's allow the process to take its course.
I'm sorry, I need to object at this point. My mic is not working, which is why I'm struggling to be heard.
Can we?
Council, my learned friend for the state we appreciate his efforts and we appreciate his acknowledgement of the time that has been made by the witnesses to come here and testify. But at this point, my learned friend is making submissions and making statements to the witness. I'm not sure whether it's leading to a question, but it appears to be, if he could put his question, if that's what he intends to do, that would be preferable, and refrain from commenting on the process of arbitration.
Yes. Sure, it's time to put questions, but he could make a statement and invite the witness to comment. That is why at the end of a statement, I normally say to the witness, do you want to respond? If he were to say, as he does, and say the government is doing all in its power to remedy past omissions, stop, and then ask the witness, and the witness would say, yes, I think they will, or I don't think they will. So he's entitled to put statements, provided the witness is allowed to respond to them. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that, except that
If you say
wasn't...
that should be shorter, I agree with you. We'll ask him to make them shorter, so the witness can have an opportunity to respond.
But
But we can't stop him from put a statement to your witness. The
no,
witness must just be allowed to respond.
that's fair enough. The content of the last couple of minutes, however, of the statement is of a different nature to the statements he has been making to the other witnesses thus far. And that's why I felt compelled to raise my objection.
Sure. Okay, there's an objection before us. Counsel, what's your response to the objection?
Thank you, Justice. Well, what we make in the form of a statement is the acknowledgement on the part of government that it is indeed unfortunate of the events which has occurred. We want to assure the witness who has just given an account of his experience. And as we are sitting here, we acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And we have to assure the witness as well as other family members and the nation about what the government's involvement is in relation to what
See, the
needs to be
objection
done.
is a procedural one. It is that this is time to cross-examine the witness or to put statements to witnesses.
Yes.
Cross-examination includes putting propositions to a witness. The witness may say yay or nay, or I have no comment. So it's procedural in nature, but you cannot be stopped saying whatever you want to put to the witness, frankly. So I suggest you might overcome your objection by putting snippets and requiring the witness, or giving the witness the opportunity to respond.
Thank
On
you,
most
Justice.
of the things you say, the witness will probably have no response because you're talking about the government and its intentions. But it's still procedurally, it's time to put propositions to the witness, and you will have time to argue quite fully.
Thank you, Justice.
Very well.
Mr. Lekwabe, the government has taken steps to establish these arbitration proceedings in order to ensure that the wrongs which were committed are being corrected. Will you acknowledge that?
Councillor, I'll respond to you. You can go on. I'll
Well,
respond.
you have an opportunity now to say whether you,
No, I don't agree, Chief Justice, with your due respect. Why I'm saying this? The Health Department, I don't know, 2007, this thing was done. Children died in a separate NGO. And then I don't know whether your office is archiving all the records or the history of the health. Because if this thing, you were aware of it, and then from a legal point of view, and from your advisors as doctors, you should have known when people were cautioning you that this thing you mustn't do that. For us, it's too late for you to come and tell us that the government is doing this. For me, it's painful. And then also, I want to tell you that the death of my brother caused the death of my wife. Now I'm a widow. You cannot tell me that the government is doing something. My wife was running around like a helpless chicken, running all over the show, until he was depressed. And then he died of aortic dissection, where his
died of what?
aortic dissection. It's a certain sickness. When a person is depressed, it means the veins that control the blood to go to the heart, it start to burst. And that's why I'm a widow now. I buried my brother on the 20th of August. I have to bury my wife on the 30th of December. It means I have to carry 2 deaths with my own expenses. So your apology, Councillor, it doesn't augur well with me. It doesn't augur well with me, because you knew, if you should have learned on 2007 when those children were dying in those NGOs, you shouldn't have done this. We pleaded with you because you got a stubborn MEC and arrogant. You didn't listen to us. It's painful for me. At this point, you Councillor, you are having your wife. I don't have any wife at all. I've lost the wife that I took him. He was having a standard 8. I took him to school up until he became a dental therapist. He was going to open his surgery. I've lost all the investment of mine is gone. For the period of 30 years, I lost somebody. Your apology to say the government is taking care of this, to me, is a drop in an ocean. And it won't kill any fish.
Council, any further propositions?
Thank you,
As I've always
Justice.
say, witness is entitled to respond to any proposition that is put in cross-examination.
Indeed, so.
Yeah.
Mr. Lokwabe, we do acknowledge the pain that you have suffered, and we are sorry. It is just unfortunate that the events occurred in the manner that they did, but what we say as government is that consequent to the unfortunate tragedy that has occurred, this process seeks to get the families who are affected together as government in order to find closure to the difficulties that everyone is experiencing. It is indeed a painful situation that you are going through, but it needs to be attended, and which is the very reason the government is taking these steps. And it is on that note that we really appreciate the time that you have taken to give an account, and we hope that this process will come up with ways of finding redress. Thank you.
You're entitled to respond.
Okay, he's still repeating the same thing. I thought that is going to come up with some other new things that will motivate me in order to carry on with my life. It's just like striking a rock and say the water must come out. And then it's only Moses who did that and nothing else. So, Councillor, Chief Justice, what I want to say is that we elect people to be in government in order to lead us, not to kill us. We elect people in order to be on certain institution, in order to make sure that they know and they've got the knowledge. But what I see in this government is that most of the ministers, you'll find them in the mall. We don't know, even during the week. I don't know what they are doing in the mall. Maybe they are on pension, they are with you, or because you are on pension, Chief Justice, they want to visit you, I don't know. But ministers, they are not wakey. Always they are in a meeting, I don't know which meeting. It's painful for us to do this. And then I don't know what to say.
Yeah, sure, but the proposition by the State Council was that his instructions, remember he's an advocate, that the state is going in the future going to do better. They'll never repeat this mistake again. So that is really what he's saying. And you could say you believe that it's going to happen or it's not going to happen.
No, I thought
But
that.
you've got to meet the point he's making, which is that the state pledges. So that is what you must respond to and say,
No, I don't believe, because I thought that this is going to tell me that even on this death, the NPA or the Hawks will be included when they are addressing this situation, so that even in future, this thing doesn't happen. But I just hear him that the state is taking this, they are taking this and this and this. But to me, it doesn't augur well. But for your info, Chief Justice, I'm not going to waste your time. I've said what I've said, and then I think my wife will rest peacefully, because before he died, he asked me, did you find out what kills your brother? Even now, I don't know. Maybe the state will come one day. Then I'll make a ceremony to the grave of my wife and tell them that these are the people that kill your brother-in-law. Thank you, Chief Justice.
Council, do you have any further questions? Any propositions to make?
Well, it is just one aspect. I do not intend to keep the witness long. Mr. Lokwabe, do you agree?
Remember, you are free to do so.
Indeed,
There's
sir.
no inhibition whatsoever. What answers you will elicit is another matter, but you're free to to
Thank
put any proposition to a witness.
Thank you, Justice. Mr. Logabe, do you acknowledge that this arbitration process headed by Mr. Justice Moseneke is necessary in order to assist you as well as other family members in an effort to find closure?
I hope so, Counsel. I hope so. Let me reassure myself. I hope so. That one day we'll know the truth.
Yes. No, thank you. It's a fair answer.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And it's a process which is authorized and agreed to by the parties. We must have hope that
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you see, Chief Justice, they've undermined the leadership of Section 27 when it was advising them, you see, about this matter. If they should have listened, we shouldn't be in this arbitration. And then they were saying they are trying to save cost. How much are we using here? Food and whatever. We should have provided for necessary mental health users rather than sitting here. We've wasted. Is this what we call project Esidimeni, or this is a project to death of the life mental users? Thank you, Justice.
No, thank you so much. I think it's time to release you from there. Again, I thank you for being here and making yourself available and sharing with us these difficult experiences, and your views are important. And that's why we're all sitting quietly to listen to them. But you see, before you stage a sit-in, I must let you go.
Okay. No, Chief Justice, I won't do that. I'm free to go now.
Okay. Sure, thank you. Ralo Ramothusi.
Thanks.
Counsel.
Justice, we'd like to call Mrs. Ntombi Futhi Dladla.
Sawubona mame.
Good afternoon to you.
Ngifuna usebenzise eliphilweni.
I prefer to speak my language. Zulu.
Ngizokhuluma ngesizulu.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. I ask you to place your full names on record, please.
Cela usho amagama akho onke aphelele. Ngasehlisa isandla bafuna nje amagama ngoba.
Ntomfuthi Olga Dladla.
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, nothing but the truth? And if so, raise your right hand and say, so help me God.
Uyafunga ukuthi konke ozokusho iqiniso, iqiniso limsulwa. Uma kunjalo cela uphakamise isandla sakho sokudla uthi inkosi ingisize.
Inkosi ingisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
Counsel.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Dladla.
Yebo.
Can you tell us what is your relationship to the late Joseph Gumede?
Ungasitshela ukuthi nazana kanjani no Joseph Gumede?
Joseph Gumede ubhuti wami. Ngowesithathu emva kwakhe.
He was my brother. I'm the third one after him.
He was your older brother.
Yes.
Was Joseph at life Esidimeni?
Ingabe u-
Yebo.
Oh, yes.
Which Life Esidimeni facility was he at?
Waye kwesiphi isikhungo sase-Life Esidimeni?
Sikhungweni.
Isibhedlela sase-Life Esidimeni. Waye kwesiphi sona?
Was it the Witpoortjie, the Randfontein? the
Ramfontein.
How long was he there?
Wayehlala isikhathi esingakanani lapho?
Akahlala ngesikhathi eside because yena ungene ngo 2015.
He was,
Noma ngingasakhumbuli inyanga ukuthi yipi etransferwa yibhara.
he was admitted in the year 2015. I'm not clear on the month, but he was transferred there from Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital.
What was Joseph's mental health condition?
Wayehlushwa yini uJoseph yena engqondweni? Wayephethwe yini kahle kahle?
Bekegula ngengqondo kahle ubhuti wami.
He was mentally ill.
Ekuguleni kwakhe ngengqondo bokumuntu o violence kakhulu
He was very violent.
ongangokuthi emndenini akekho umuntu bekemunderstanda ngaphandle kwami.
Up to a point that even family members couldn't deal with him except me, of course.
Ngoba esikhathini esiningi ubethi uma ngabe esekhaya eMidlands kumamami ubelwa ephula amafastera alwise ngisho umamami.
Up to a point that when he was at home in Middlelands, my mother's home, he would be violent and he would break the windows and hit people.
Umamami njengoba ngikhuluma nani nje washaywa i-stroke ngenxa kabhuti wami.
As I speak, my mother suffered a stroke because of that.
So ngadecide ukuthi because mina esikhathini esiningi uma ngikhona uyakhona ukungilalela ngabona ukuthi kungcono ngimthathe ngihlale naye.
It's when I decided that because I understand or understood his behavior, then I took it upon myself for him to come and live with me.
Uhlalile nami ke isikhathi eside yize nami beke ngihlupha.
He stayed with me for a very long time, even though it was difficult to deal with him.
Ongangokuthi nami bekenza the very same thing ebekeyenza ekhaya uma ngingekho esele nabantwana bami.
He was doing the very same things he was doing at home when I was absent, when he was left alone with my children.
Wangitshela ukuthi ngiyamcontrola ngizenza umamakhe ufuna yena indawo yakhe.
And he said to me that I'm controlling him and I want to be his mother. He wanted his own place to stay.
Kwatholakala ukuthi la ngihlala ngakhona eThepisong kunendawo okukhathwa khona itende bathi Thepisong West. Ngaya kukhansela ngakhuluma naye wamkhathela istand.
I went to the councillor in Tepisong where I reside and I talked to the councillor asking him to give him his own stand or his own place, and then he did so.
Ngoba yena bekunokuhamba hamba abuye abe ngcono umbone ukuthi uba right kwesisikhathi kubuye kumqali.
He would be better and then he would relapse again.
Wamkhathela ikhansela istende ngoba nendawo yakhe bengikhona ukuthi akukudanga ukusuka kimi kuya khona bengikhona ukusuka ekseni ngiye kuye kwakhe ngiyombheka ngimcheke ukuthi unjani ngimenzele yonke into ayidingayo.
After he got his place, he was not far from where I live, so I would go early in the mornings and check on him and how he's doing.
Kwatholakala ukuthi esikhathini esiningi ubengahlali nomndeni ubengawufuna umndeni ubehlala emgwaqeni ngoba abenokunyamalala esikhathini esiningi singamazi ekhaya ukuthi ukuphi simfune zonke indawo. Angikhumbula ngomunye unyaka khona unyaka kwafuna omunye umlungu khona la eCapton Park emshayise ngemoto wangitshela ukuthi usesibhedlela sela eJohannesburg Hospital.
Okay. He didn't want to stay with his family. From time to time, he would go and roam around the streets up to a point that in a certain year, a white man called me and then he said he knocked him off with his car and he was admitted at Johannesburg Hospital.
Wangifonela wangibuza ukuthi ngiyamazi na ngase ngithi yebo ngiyamazi ubhuti wami wasethi ucela ukuthi ngihambe ngiyombheka useJohannesburg Hospital ngamthola la eJohannesburg Hospital.
And he asked me if I knew him, and then I said yes, he was my brother. And then he told me that he was admitted at Johannesburg Hospital, and I went there to see him.
Ngathola ukuthi ulimele ngempela.
And I saw that he was injured.
Lo mlungu ke wafika naye wangithola wangibuza ukuthi kuza kanjani ahlala emgwaqweni ngase ngiyamchazela isimo sakhe.
And when the white man came and he asked why he is roaming the streets, and then I had to explain his condition to him.
Wase ethi yazi ukuthini mina into engaku-advise ngicela ukuthi ukhulume nama-social worker amzamele i-place of safety.
He advised me that I should talk to social workers so that they would find a place of safety for him.
Ngiye ngazama ukuxhumana nama-social worker khona lana eJohannesburg Hospital. I-social worker engakhuluma nayo eyendoda Matebula.
I took his advice and talked to the social workers here at Johannesburg Hospital. The social worker that I talked to was a male by the surname of Matebula.
Ngiloke ngi-attenda ngimbheke esibhedlela until waze wa-discharge-wa.
I went to visit him until he was discharged from the hospital.
Ukubuya kwakhe wabuyela kimi futhi.
And then he came to live with me after he was discharged.
Uma isabuya esibhedlela ubuye right because ubuya ephansi kodokotela bemphuzisa imithi yakhe ubuya abe right. Kodwa uma isehlele ekhaya ubuye iqale lento ngoba i-medication yakhe akayiphuzi ngendlela uma isemgwaqweni.
When he was discharged from the hospital, his health was stable because the doctors took care of him and they made sure that he is taking his medications. But when he would be disturbed because he would again go to the streets and he wouldn't take his medication when he was roaming around the streets.
When was this?
When
When was he discharged from Joburg General Hospital?
Wakhishwa nini eJoburg Gen esibhedlela?
Mangaphosisi boku 2007. Mangaphosisi. Ngaleso sikhathi eceda kumshayisa ngemoto.
She says if she's not mistaken around the year 2007.
Did Joseph live with you until he was admitted to life Esidimeni?
Ubehlala nami kodwa ngalesikhathi beze bam-admita e-life Esidimeni ubenyamelele singamazi ukuthi kuphi kudala ngimfuna ngazothola i-call futhi again ibhara yangifonela yangibuza ukuthi ngiyamazi umuntu so ngathola ukuthi yebo ngiyamazi ngihamba ngayembheka khona.
Yes, he was living with me, but when he got admitted at Life Esidimeni, I got a phone call from Chris Baragwanath, and they again told me that, do I know this person? And then I confirmed that, yes, it was my brother.
Why was he at Chris Bara?
Nakhona futhi Chris Baragwana bamthola emgwaqeni eshaywa abantu wathathwa umuntu wamuse eBhara.
They found him in the streets. He was beaten by people, and then a stranger took him to Chris Baragwanath Hospital.
Uhleli isikhathi eside eBhara engakhona ukukhuluma bengamazi nokuthi ubani wakuphi.
He stayed there a very long time because he couldn't speak to tell them where, who he was or where he was living.
When was this that he was admitted to Chris Baragwanath?
Kwakunini ngesikhathi admitwa eBhara.
2009.
It was 2009.
Did you visit him when he was at Chris Baragwanath?
Bengiya emva kokuthi sesitholile umkhondo wokuthi useBhara.
Yes, I did go after receiving the news that he was admitted at Baragwanath.
And when was he discharged from Chris Baragwanath?
Hey, yazi bengakunaki konke lokhu ukuthi ama-dates nakho kodwa ke wabuye wa-discharge-wa eBhara wabuya ekhaya ekubuyeni kwakhe kwaba umuntu oloku ehamba bamtransfera eBhara bathi akaye eLeratong to the nearest hospital lapha khona azothatha khona i-treatment.
I'm not sure because I didn't record the dates, but after that they transferred him to Leratong because it was the nearest hospital from where we lived.
Okay, and then from Leratong Hospital, did he then return home?
Wabuyela ekhaya ngemva kokuthi ayiswe eLeratong.
iBhara esemdischarge-ile ekumdischarge-eni kwakhe base bamtransferela ukuthi i-treatment yakhe ayiphuzayo kufanele ukuthi ayilande eLeratong.
He was discharged at Chris Baragwanath, but they referred him to Leratong so that he could get his medication there or his follow-up on his medication.
So he then did come back home. I just want to clarify.
ngiwabuye ekhaya.
Yes, he did
And
come
you
back
said
home.
he was admitted to Life Esidimeni Randfontein in 2015.
Yebo.
Yes.
And did you visit him at Life Esidimeni?
Bengimvakashela.
Yes, I did visit him.
How often did you visit him?
Ubuya kangaki ukuyomvakashela?
Ukuya ukuyomvakashela bengiya mangithola ithuba ngoba esikhathini esiningi mina bengisebenza ama-piece job and at the same time umamami ushaywe yi-stroke bekufanele ukuthi ngiloke ngibhekane nanomamami noma bengithi mangihamba ngiya kuma-piece job bekufanele ukuthi ngifune umuntu ozosala nomamami.
Okay.
So bengithi mangithola ithuba ngaleso sikhathi bese ngiyaya.
I visited him from time to time because I had to take care of my mother as well because of the stroke. And I also got temporary jobs in the meantime. So when I go to that job or that specific job, I had to ask someone to come and take care of my mother.
And when you visited him at Life Esidimeni, how was he? Was he able to talk? What was his condition like? And did you take anything for him?
Yo bekemuhle kaje. Yo bengimthanda kanjani nokuthi ahlale emgwaqweni bengijabule kaje.
I loved my brother. I was happy and he was happy and he was handsome as well while he was at Life Esidimeni.
Did you speak to him? Was he able to talk to you?
Bekekhuluma nje kahle.
Yes, yes, he could talk to me.
And what would you talk about?
Nanikhuluma ngani?
Bekekhuluma nje ukuthi uyangimisa, akhulume nokuthi ufuna ukubuya uza kwakhe, ucela ukuthi ngimkhiphe lana abuya ekhaya, ngimtshela ukuthi bhuti angeke ngize ngokuthathe la ngoba wena ukukhipha kwami la uyinkinga awufuna ukuhlala steli, uhlala emgwaqweni.
He would say he misses me and he would ask me to take him home whenever I come to visit. And then I would explain that if I take you home, I can't take care of you because you disappear and you roam around the streets, so I can't take care of you.
When was the last time you visited Joseph at Life Esidimeni?
Wagcina nini kumvakashela uJoseph eLife?
Esikhathini esidinga ubhuti wami njengoba ngisho ukuthi bokumuntu ohlala emgwaqweni. Kodwa bengizama ngakho konke uma ku December ukuthi ngawudli Christmas neNew Year ngambona. Bengimfuna ngize ngimthola. Uma ngabe kenzekile kulonyaka ngingamtholanga bengayidli Christmas kahle. Ngamgcina nge-23 zaka December 2015 ukugcina kwamkhuluma naye.
I last spoke to him on the 23rd of December 2015 because every Christmas and New Year I would make sure that we celebrated together.
And how was he when you saw him on that occasion at Life Esidimeni?
Wayenjani ngaleso sikhathi umvakashela?
Wayemuhle right. Yazini angazi ngize ngiyazisola kube ngamthatha ngalolu langa ngendlela wayemuhle ngakhona ubhuti wami.
He was okay. His situation was okay. He was handsome as always. I regret I should have taken him on that day, but I regret leaving him there on that day.
Kumgcina kwami ukumbona ke nge-23.
That was the last day I saw him, on the 23rd of December.
Sebesitshelile ukuthi iyavala iLife Esidimeni.
They had told, they did say that Life Esidimeni was going to be closed.
Did they tell you where Joseph would be taken?
Abazange baze bangitshele ukuthi from January bayaqala kwayatransfera abantu. Ngase ngiyabuza ukuthi ke ngiyeza ngizombona nabathi no. Ukuza kwakho uzoza uthola ukuthi mhlambe sesimtransferile wena hlala ulinde ekhaya sizokufonela sikutshele la simo sakhona.
They said no, because the facility was going to be closed, so I can't come and see him in January. But they would tell me where they're going to transfer Joseph, but they didn't.
Did they not contact you once Joseph had been moved?
Bangifonela ngoJune bangitshela ukuthi sebeyamsusa. Before bengifonela since from January ngiloke ngilindile ukuthi bangifonele baloke bengangifoneli. Unfortunately khona intombazana engisonta nayo esebenza khona lapha yana. Ngiloke ngifonela yona ngiyibuza ukuthi ubhuti wami ukuphi because abakangifoneli. Athi kimi kusho ukuthi njengoba bengakafoneli usase lapho eLife Esidimeni.
There's A lady that I know that we go to church together, she was working at Life Esidimeni. I would ask, since from January, because they said they were going to call me in January, then I would ask her if they've transferred Joseph from that day. And she said, no, it means if they haven't contacted you, it means they haven't moved Joseph. But initially they did call me in June.
They called you in June to tell you, what did they tell you when they called you in June?
Bangitshela ukuthi bayamtransfera namhlanje.
They told me that he's going to be transferred today.
Ngabuzwa ukuthi nimsaphi, bathi la simisa khona asikakayi, la sizomusa khona yibo abazokufonela bakutshele yonke into ngaye.
I asked where they were transferring him to. They said they didn't know, but once he arrived there at that facility, they would tell me where is Joseph.
Did you visit Life Esidimeni again?
Angiyazi nokuyazi ukuthi ngakuphi mina lo ndawo.
Uke waye Life Esidimeni,
E-Life Esidimeni.
after ngaleso sikhathi.
Ngiyangaya e-Life Esidimeni. Emva kokuthi sebengifonele bangitshela ukuthi endeni sebemtransferele basebemtransferele la ngingazi khona. Ngiye ngoSeptember laphana ngayofuna. Ngathola ukuthi ngithola ama-security.
I did go after I received the phone call, but I went there in September and
Is
only
that September 2016?
September 2016.
September 2016, yeah.
Yes, September 2016, and I only found security guards there at the gate.
Ama-security angitshela ukuthi abantu abonke sebehambile. Abantu ababazi ukuthi babase kweziphi indawo kodwa indawo abanye abaziyo kuyo kuseSterkfontein. Banginikeze nje amagama amaningi a-different ukuthi babase kuphi. But uma ngabe ngobula eRamfontein ungayombheka eKrugersdorp.
The security guards told me that the patients were moved already, but they gave me a list of the places where they possibly could have taken my brother. They talked about since I lived here around Tepisong, they would have taken my brother maybe to Krugersdorp. They also told me about Sterkfontein as well.
Kanti nalo ntombazana engikhuluma naye ngisonta naye wangitshela ukuthi abantu bokugcina abakhiphiwe eLife Esidimeni babathathe babatransferela khona around lapha eKrugersdorp.
And the lady that I go to church with explained to me that the last batch that was moved was transferred to Krugersdorp.
But from June 2016 to September, once you had been told that he had been transferred, didn't you try and find him?
Awuzange uzama ukumthola kulesi sikhashana kusuka kuJune kuya kuSeptember.
Ngiye ngazama ngixhumana nabo ngamafoni.
I did try to call them.
Ngixhumana nabo ngamafoni ngibuza ukuthi ubhutami ukuthi kuphi ngingatholi indlela eright ukuthi bangitshele ukuthi ubhutami ukuthi kuphi.
I asked them where they've taken my brother, but it wasn't clear where they've
Who
taken
did
my
you
brother.
call?
Ubani wamfonela.
Angeke ngize ngisho ukuthi ubani ngamfonela because angimazi ukuthi lo muntu ubani. Mina ngathola ama-phone number kuma-security banginikeza lawo ma-phone number lawo ngazama ukuthi ithi ngifone kuwo ngizokuthi ngithole ukuthi ubhutami ukuthi ukuphi.
I don't know the name of that person, but I found the number that the security guards gave me at the gate.
Until ke ngize ngithole lapho ngiloke ngihamba kuwo wonke lama NGOs lawo ngingamtholi ngingawazi ukuthi akuphi nginikezwa ile ntombazane engisonta nayo angisendela ama message angitshela ukuthi hambe endaweni eso.
The lady that I go to church with gave me the numbers of the NGOs and their addresses, and I went from one NGO to another looking for my brother.
Ngimbuzo ukuthi ngoba yena lo ntombazana naye ohamba nama-patient ePitori ngimbuzo ukuthi akekho yini lapha ePitori na wathi akekho ePitori.
Because this lady also went with other patients to Pretoria, I asked her if are there any other patients with her in Pretoria.
Ngambuza ngathi wena ukuphi nendawo ePitori wathi useKalinian.
And then I asked her where she's living in Pretoria, and then she says she's in Kalinin.
Ngaloke ngimfuna ke.
Sorry, who was in Cullinan?
The lady that she went to church with.
I see, okay. Do you remember the name of this lady?
Yeah.
Khumbula igama lika mama.
Catherine.
Her name is Catherine.
Okay, continue.
Uye wanginceda kakhulu ukuthi angitshele indawo zonke lezi abatransfer yona ngoba nasetakalani ukuze ngazi uye wangidirector khona ngaya nase eBinoni.
She's the one who was helping me find or locate these places. She was the one who told me about Takalani, and I went there, and she told me about another place in Binoni as well.
And was Joseph there?
Angizange ngize ngimthole kuzo zonke le ndawo nase Stekfontein azange ngize ngimthole nakule enye futhi indawo angizange ngize ngimthole until ngise ngathi mangisuka eBinoni ngeyi30 zika January ngafonela umntana emsebenzini ngatshela umntana ngathi yazi ukuthini ngiphuma lana bangitshele ukuthi because ngithi sengihambe indawo eziningi ngimthola ubhuti wami kungcono ngiye eDepartment of Health ngase ngithi
I was looking around and I couldn't find my brother. Even when I went to Binoni on the 30th of January, I couldn't find my brother. And then I called my son, and he advised me to go to the Department of Health to talk to them.
That's now 20th January 2017.
It's a good 2017, 30 January 2017.
yebo
Yes.
So did you go to the Department of Health then?
yeah ngathi mangisuka lapho ngaya straight eDepartment ngacela umntana nami efonini ngathi angiyazi iDepartment of Health ngicela ukuthi ungizamele ungigugulele ungicheckele lapho kuwe ukuthi iDepartment of Health ikuphi bese ungisendela iaddress wakwenza lokho.
Straight from there, I went straight to the department, but I asked my son to help me locate because I didn't know their premises. I asked him to Google the address for me and send the location to me, and he did so.
Uthe sangisendele ke ngase ngiyagibela ngase sengiphelelwe na imali Nkosi nguJesu angise sengiphelelwe imali kwehla kwenyuka akhosti ukuthi ngifonele ekhaya ngitshela umama wami ukuthi ngicela ukuthi athumele umuntu ahamba yongifakela imali eShoprite ukuthi ngikhona ukugibela ngifike eJoburg ngizokwazi ukuya eDepartment of Health.
I took the taxi there, but I ran out of funds. I had to call my mother for her to send someone to Shoprite to deposit the money for me there so that I can have money to carry on with my journey.
Ngithe mangifika eJoburg ngahamba ngaya eDepartment of Health eSawa mangifika lapho kwatholakala ukuthi bese soku late sokuvaliwe.
I went to the Department of Health here in South Street in Joburg, but when I got there, it was already closed.
Ngabuyela
I went back home.
Did you ever go back to the Department of Health?
ngabuyela eDepartment of Health Monday.
I went back there the following Monday.
And who did you speak to?
Wakhuluma nobani lapho?
Ngathi mangifika eSawa bangitshela ukuthi fanele ngiye eDiagonal bangibhalela phansi nabi address.
When I got there, they told me that I should go to Diagonal Street. They wrote the address for me down.
Ngaya lapho
I went there.
ngithe mangifika lapho kuleyo floor leyo angithatha ama security angifaka phakathi sengingaphakathi ngathola amanye amantombazana ngawathola hlezi etafuleni nje amaningi.
When I got there, the security guards escorted me to the relevant floor, and when I got there, there were ladies sitting there.
Ngase ngiyabatshela ukuthi bebengibhalele phansi lapha yana eSawa ukuthi ngifune uDr Manamela.
At Sawa, they had written down that when I get to Diagonal Street, I should ask for Dr. Manamela.
Thema ngifika lapha ngathi ngizocela ukubona uDr Manamela.
I requested to see him,
Banguzi sine appointment naye.
and then they asked me if I had an appointment.
Ngathi no angina appointment naye angimazi nokumazi.
Then I said no, because I don't know him.
Wasethi lo sister okay singakunceda thina na ngathi yebo.
And then the lady asked me if they could be of assistance to me, and I said yes.
Ngase ngithi ngizofuna ubrother wami beke kade eselife Esidimeni eRamfontein.
And I told them that I'm here looking for my brother. He was at Life Esidimeni in Randfontein.
So sengihambe indawo eziningi angimtholi.
I've searched many places, but I can't find him.
So sengicabanga ukuthi ngize la.
That's why I took the decision to come here.
Ngamthola ehlezi nje nefile enkulu lo sisi lapha etafuleni wayiphenya wangibuza ukuthi ubani ubhuti wami ngase ngiyamtshela ngathi uJoseph Gumede.
There was a file on top of the table, and she asked me the name of my brother, and then I said it was Joseph Gumede.
Wathi okay ithi ngimbheke wabheka waphenya wathi oh hayi le bhuku engiliphethe la elabantu bonke abashonile.
He searched for his name through that file, and then she said, the file that I have contains the name of people who have died.
Wathi mara ubhuti wakho akekho lapho ngenhlanhla. Oh Nkosi.
And then she
ngajabula.
says, luckily your brother is not there.
Yo ngajabula Nkosi yami
I
ngathi
was very
ngiyabonga.
happy.
Kanti ukhuluma nje ayikhuluma into engekho.
But she was lying. There was no such.
Uthe mangicela ukukhuluma naye kanjalo wasethi kimi ngicela ukuthi uhlale lapho khona usisi ozokuassista ngabantu base life Esidimeni.
And then she requested me to sit there, and there was a lady who was going to assist me regarding the patients from Life Esidimeni.
Uthe mayiqhamuka lo sisi lo wasiseyangibuka sebamtshela bona ukuthi lo sisi lona uze lana ufuna ubrother wakhe uthi uJoseph Gumede.
And then they told this lady that I was here looking for my brother Joseph Gumede from Life Esidimeni.
Who was the lady that they were now asking to assist?
Ubani lo mama?
Angimazi igama lakhe.
I don't know her name.
Angimazi igama lakhe kodwa ngamkhomba mangaqhamuka la.
But
Ngibazi bonke
I-
ngabakhomba. Lapha ngabathola ngibazi bonke.
But I can point her out if she could come here.
Wasesangibuza ukuthi ngiyini no Joseph Gumede ngathi uJoseph Gumede ubhuti wami.
She asked me how was I related to Joseph Gumede, and I said he was my brother.
Beke phethe laptop washaya lapha na ku laptop wathi kimi inamba ye-ID yaka Joseph Gumede uyayazi na ngase ngithi mina angiyazi ngekhanda.
She was carrying a laptop, and then she typed my brother's name and asked if I knew Joseph's ID number. And I said, no, I don't know his ID number off by head.
Waseyisho yena ngase ngithi awume kancane ke ntombazana.
And then she told me the ID, and then I said, wait right there.
Ngakhipha ebhekini yami bengiyiphethe i-ID yaka bhuti wami.
I had my brother's ID on me.
I-ID nakhona ka bhuti wami ngayithola kuma security e-road port e-court because nalapho bekethanda ukuyohlala khona alale khona.
I got his ID from the security guard in Rodiport at the court because he liked to stay there.
Ngayibheka ithe mayebiza ngathola ukuthi le numbers zishoyo yizo lezi zila ku-ID ya bhuti wami.
When she told me the numbers, they corresponded with the ID document I had.
Wasethi okay sisi ngizokuxhumanisa nomuntu ne-social worker izokufonela yiyo ezokutshela ukuthi ubhuti wakho ukuthi ukuphi kodwa ukhona uyaphila usePitori.
What was the, oh, sorry.
And then she said, I will refer you to a social worker, and she's the one who's going to explain where your brother is. But he is alive, and he is in Pretoria.
What was the name of the social worker that you referred to?
Ubani igama le-social
Daphne.
worker? Was Daphne. Daphne Banisbong.
Hayi mina ngimkhohlisa isibongo sakhe lo ntombazana.
I don't know his surname, but it's Daphne.
Daphne.
But was
Yeah.
Daphne at Diagonal Street in
Ingabe-
Johannesburg?
Daphne usebenza e-Diagonal Street.
Uthe uzongixhumanisa naye uzomfonela axhumane nami.
She said she would call the social worker, and the social
see.
worker would be.
Did the social worker call you?
Ingabe agcine ekufonela.
Ngingakaphumi nokuphuma ebuilding wabe sengifonela.
She called me right there before I even went out of the building.
Waseseyangibuza ukuthi ngihlobene kanjani noJoseph Gumede.
And then she asked me how I knew Joseph Gumede.
Ngase ngiyamtshela ukuthi ubhuti wami.
And then I said he was my brother.
Wasengitshela ukuthi okay khona manje angikho office ngisasemgwaqweni ngisase busy nezinye izinto.
And then she told me that she was busy, she was on the road, she was busy with other things, but she would call me.
Azange azangifonele ngalolo langa lelo wathi uzongifone la the following day. The following day nakhona ngamlinde ukuthi azaza afone azange azangifonele.
She said she was going to call me the following day, but she didn't. She didn't even phone on the same day or come back to me on the same day, even on the following day.
Wafona ngelanga lesithathu.
He phoned me on the third day.
Esefone sexolisa ngitshela ukuthi uyaxolisa ngokuthi angangifoneli ayikho into beke ngayenza beke salinde iboss yakhe imnike yonke information.
She phoned me and apologized that she couldn't get back to me because she was busy with what her boss was instructing her to do.
What did she say to you now when she called you?
Wathini kwenkathi esekuthinta-ke manje?
Wathi efonini ucela ukuza azongivakashela.
She said she wanted to come and visit me.
Ngase ngithi mina anginankinga ungeza uzongivakashela.
I said, I have no problem with that. You can come and visit me.
Kodwa ngiyacela ingashayi weekend ungafikanga because ngifuna ukwenza sure ukuthi weekend le ngihambe ngiyobona ubhuti wami.
I told her that please don't come on the weekend because I'm planning to visit my brother. Excuse me. I'm planning to visit my brother on the weekend.
Azange azazafiki.
She
Yadlula
didn't
weekend. Wafona Monday.
Then she phoned me on Monday, the following Monday, but she didn't come.
Waxolisa futhi nalapho.
And she apologized as well.
Wangitshela ukuthi uzoza ngolosithathu.
And then she said she was going to come on Wednesday.
Ngamlinda ngolosithathu.
What date was that?
Kwakunini usuku, i-date.
Angisakhumbuli ukuthi ngolosithathu kwakulwesingaki.
I don't remember the exact date.
Was it in January 2017 still, or was it February?
February ke manje.
This was February.
Until wasethi kimi mayengifonela ngolosithathu ethe uzoza ngolosithathu azange azafike ngolosithathu wafona ngolosithathu late wangitshela ukuthi uyaxolisa ngolosithathu akasaphumelelanga mara definitely sure Friday izofika ngase ngithi mina sengikhathele nguwe yazi.
She didn't pitch on Wednesday that she made an appointment of, and she said definitely she was going to come on Friday. And then I told her that I'm tired of waiting.
Did she ever arrive?
Wake wafika ke
Wagcina efikile yena
Yes, she did.
the very same week Friday yakhona.
On Friday, she did come on Friday.
Nakhona ufike ngesikhathi lesibekade sisibekile seseqile.
She came very late on that day.
Mayefika bangifonela bangitshela ukuthi base Krugersdorp baqela i-direction eza kwami.
They phoned me, they were in Krugersdorp, and they were asking for directions to my house.
Ngaba director until ngabatshela ukuthi mabese befike lapho bangifonela ngizobalanda lapho.
And then I gave them the directions, and I told them that from where I've directed you, just wait there until I come and fetch you.
Bathe mabese fikile bafona.
And then they called me when they arrived,
Ngase ngihamba ngiyabalanda.
and then I fetched them.
Mangiza nabo endleleni mase ngifike egate kwami.
When we were approaching the gate in my house,
Ngikhipha isikhiye kimi ngivula igate.
when I was opening the gate,
Uthi kimi hawo osintombi futhi unalimanga. Ngibona ubula gate.
and then she said to me, who else are you with? Because I see that you're opening the gate.
Ngithi ngiyi-one abantu abekho basemsebenzini abantwana bami basesikolweni.
And then I said, there's no one here, it's just me, because everyone has gone to work and school.
Wasethi hayi okay asingene ngaphakathi.
And then she said, okay, let's go in.
Is this Daphne?
uDaphne loyo.
Yes, this was Daphne.
Wakhipha isithombe sakabhuti wami.
He took out my brother's picture.
Wathi before siqala inkulumo ngicela ukwazi ukuthi lo muntu lo uye lo sikhuluma ngaye.
Before she could say anything else, she wanted to confirm if this was the same person we're talking about.
Ngathi ya nguye.
And I said, yes, it was him.
Wathi ke inamba
Is
yakhe
that photograph that you're holding up numbered ELAH 34?
yeah
35.
yeah
Yes.
yiyo
ELAH 35.
yebo
Is that a photograph of your brother?
yebo yiyo yona.
Yes, yes, this is the picture of my brother.
When was this photograph taken?
Sathathwa nini lesi sithombe?
Sathatha 2014 ngoNovember.
It was November 2014.
Who took this photograph?
Ubani wathatha lesi sithombe?
Omunye ubhuti nje uthathe ithombe.
It was just a random photographer that was taking pictures.
And is this the photograph that Daphne showed you?
No, akusiyiyo le.
No, it's not this picture.
Okay, go.
Bokuyisithombe nje siveze asivezanga umzimba wonke besifundise nje just ikhanda lakhe.
It's not, it's a ID picture. It wasn't a full body picture.
Okay.
Ngase ngithi mina yawuya ubhuti wami.
And then I confirmed that yes, it was my brother.
Wasebiza amanamba e-ID ngathi ayime kancane ke ntombazana. Awume kancane.
And
Ngasho nekamereni.
she also recited the numbers of the ID, and I said, please wait there. And then I went to my bedroom.
Ngeza ne-ID number.
And then I took his ID document.
Wawasho ngathola ukuthi usho into efanayo.
When she called the ID numbers, they corresponded from the ID document.
Usintombi futhi. Unale mang kare ke itse ke one.
And then she asked again and said, Sister Mfuti, who are you with? And I said, like I said, I'm all alone.
Athe ke tlile ka ditaba tse botlhoko.
And then he said, I have bad news for you.
Ngahlule ukuhlala esitulweni.
I couldn't sit down.
Ngasukuma ngama ngeenyawo ngathi yini kwenze njani?
And then I asked her, me standing up, what is going on?
Wathi ubhuti wakhe akasekho.
And then he said, your brother has passed on.
Yo. Ngazange ngimbulale ngengiphinde.
If I didn't kill at that time, I don't think I will ever will.
Ngahlule ukukhala ngascream azange iphume inyembezi.
I couldn't even cry. I just screamed because there were no tears coming out.
Abomakhelwane beza bezwa.
My neighbors heard, and then they came to my house.
Did Daphne tell you, sorry, did Daphne tell you when your brother had passed away?
Ngaba kutshela usuku umfowenu akushiya ngale emhlabeni.
Wathi ubhuti wami ushone nge-24 zaka July.
He said he passed on the 24th of July.
Ngathi Daphne, uyazizwa ukuthi uthini?
And I said, can you hear?
4th July of which year?
Wamuphi unyaka mama, 24 July?
2017. 2016.
Thank you.
24 July 2016.
Ngathi khani uzongitshela namhlanje?
And then I asked her, why are you telling me this today?
Ngathi hayi. Sonke lesikhathi benimgcine ngathi siphi isidumbu sakhe?
I asked where his cops, where were they keeping him all along?
Athi sisemoshari.
And then she said it was in the mortuary.
Ngithi sonke lesikhathi nithulile wayibe nangitshela ngithi bakwazi ukungixhuma bangitshela ukuthi ubhuti wami bayamtransfer. Usefile manje abasakhona ukungixhuma.
I asked her, why now? Why are you telling me this now? Because all this time they couldn't tell me where my brother was. Why are you telling me this now?
Wathi ngiyaxolisa system futhi. I'm just a messenger.
And then she said, I'm so sorry, I'm just a messenger.
Ngathi lalela ke sisi. Le nkulumo oyikhulumayo angeke ngize ngiyoyithula kumamami. Umamami uyagula. Uyazi ukuthi umama washaya i-stroke ngenxa kabhuti wami. So ngicela ukuthi wena ngihambe nawe uyokutshela umamami lento oyikhulumayo.
And I told her that I can't break these news to my mother because my mother suffered a stroke because of my brother. So I want to go with you to her, and you're the one who's going to tell my mother the news.
Driver sahamba saye eMidlands ekhaya.
And we went to my mother's place in Meadowlands.
Sithema siqhamuka ngemoto kwabe kuguthi khona imoto esukayo ekhaya.
When we were approaching my mother's house, there was another car that was leaving my mother's house.
Sifike ngime egate ekhaya. Masime egate ekhaya ngibheke la moto la ngiyibona ukuthi imoto kaSibar Sam.
When I took a good look of the car, I saw that it was my brother-in-law's car that was leaving the house.
Ishaye U-turn ize ngibamisa.
It made a U-turn coming towards us, and then I stopped them.
Ngase ngithi Sibongile ila sibona yasekhaya.
I said to Sibongile, which is my sister, last born in my house.
Ngathi ngicela niphume emotweni.
And then I requested them to come out of the car.
Ngicela niphume nomama niyaphi.
I asked them where were they going.
Athi nongimukisa kumama ku check up.
And then she said she was taking my mother to a doctor's checkup.
ngase ngithi okay angeke ngisakhona ukummukisa manje ngase ngikhuluma nesibari sami eceleni ngathi ngicela ukuthi uhambe ubhuti wami akasekho.
And then I told them that you can't go anymore. And then I asked my brother-in-law aside, and then I told him that please don't go because my brother has passed on.
Sathatha umama samngenisa endlini.
And then we took our mother inside the house.
Kulapho ke uDaphne wafika khuluma khona wangabaze engazi ukuthi uzokhuluma thini.
It is then that Daphne broke the news, but she couldn't say. She didn't know how to break the news
Ngoba wayebona isimo saka mama ukuthi unjani.
because she saw my mother's condition.
Ngase ngithi mina khuluma isekho enye indlela umntanakhe.
And then I said to her, there's no alternative. You have to speak because this is her son.
Wase yayichaza ke indaba ukuthi ubhuti wami akasekho.
And then she broke the news that my brother has passed on.
Hayi kwaba yileso sililo ke endlini.
And then we were crying.
Abuzi la sibone sekhaya ushone nini ubhuti.
And my sister asked, when did my brother pass on?
Asho ukuthi ushone nini uDave.
And then she told them.
Athi manje sonke lesikhathi benemgcine kuphi uphi njengamanje.
And she asked, where did they keep him for such a long time? Why didn't they say?
Athi khona usesibhedlela eMamelodi.
And then she said, he's at the Mamelodi
Mortuary.
Hospital
Mortuary.
in the mortuary.
Justice Masaneke, there's a few more questions I still have for this witness, but I note the time, and I wonder whether this may be an appropriate time for an adjournment.
Time as good as any. I think we should adjourn and then resume at 2:30. Sure.